Welcome to CalBears.com. Todd McKim along with head coach Mike Montgomery as the Bears this week travel to Stanford to take on the Cardinal. But first of all, let's wrap up the previous week against the Washington Schools. The Huskies came in, a very physical team, made it tough to get shots, and they pounded the offensive glass. Meanwhile, against Washington State, a very good team effort. You got great support off the bench. Tyrone Wallace ended up with a career-high 16 points.
Yeah, well, Washington has done that to us in the past. We beat them up there last year, and of course we don't play them again this year. Just like last year, we played them on the road, and they, probably had that in the back of their minds. They came in, they got real physical with us, and having the big guy Aziz in there, they directed us to the basket, and every time we went, it seemed like he changed a shot or blocked a shot, made a big difference in there. We kind of crumbled a little bit, I think. I think we kind of gave in to their pressure and didn't stay as tough as we needed to, and wasn't very pretty at the end of the day. It looked just, didn't seem to have much confidence in knowing what we could get done. So that's that, fortunately. And it's a home loss, which we really didn't want to have any home losses if we could avoid it. That was was one of our goals. So we did bounce back against Washington State. They're probably not maybe as physical as Washington. They're very patient on offense, but defensively I thought we stepped up and guys did a really good job. We had a good game plan in terms of trying to take Modem out of the game and at least minimize his touches and his scoring opportunities, which we did. And we had really a lot of opportunities early, point blank in around the paint. Didn't get much of that done yet. We still were able to stay ahead, and in the second half, we kind of got away from them a little bit. So, I was pleased with the effort. I thought guys really put forth an effort emotionally, physically to try to defend, and that's what got us the win.
So the Bears split at home. They travel to Stanford. More on that in a minute. But one of the reasons the Bears did defeat Washington State is they nailed their free throws down the stretch, and one of the guys who did a great job at the free throw line was Justin Cobbs.
Cobbs inside, puts it up, gets the roll.
Junior guard Justin Cobbs has a split basketball personality. Is he a point guard with a shooter's mentality, or is he a two guard that looks to pass first? At 6'3", he can do both, but which takes precedence?
That's why sometimes me still learning the position, still trying to grow as a point guard, it's kind of tough for me because sometimes I'm in a scoring mode and I need to be in a passing mode. I'm in a passing mode and I need to score. So it's sometimes it's a little tough, but I'm getting used to it. And it's all helping me grow as a player.
First at Minnesota and for the last 2.5 years at Cal. From a 12.5 point a game guy to 15, from 47% field goal percentage to 48, and from 81% at the line to 84%, and from the new guy on the block to team leader.
Yeah, I think coming in sometimes as a young sophomore or whatever, lower classman than to the upperclassmen, you never want to go out there and say too much because you don't know how those guys will react or whatever. So I think I did take a little back seat and just let those guys do it. So now it's kind of awkward for me to say anything and look around and don't see that ponytail and then big buff Harper around, and so it takes time. It's going to take time for you to get used to it, to understand this is finally our team now and those guys are gone, and understand that different roles have to be taken by the players.
He's very strong, very fast, has ability to create and play make, and it's one of those things where he'll always have a player or two that'll surprise you, like how did he do that?
He has done it through countless hours in the gym. During his redshirt season, Cobbs would always be found at Haas putting up jumper after jumper. He has developed tremendous confidence in his ability to score from deep or in the paint.
Just taking shots you can make. There's no point in taking shots that you have 25–30% chance of making. So I take a lot of shots that I'm confident in making, and I think sometimes that might get me in trouble a little bit too much because coach wants me to maybe be a little bit more aggressive, and I'm pump faking those shots and want to shoot shots I know I'm ready to shoot, and that's just been the key for me. Just when I'm shooting with confidence and shooting shots I know I've practiced and I can really make. Justin's good. He's really quick in transition. He can get a shot off whenever he wants, and he's a big guard. So he could. He could post up smaller guards and everything, and he helps us a lot because he could score when nobody else is scoring too. And, that really helps us because we don't really have a lot of scorers on this team.
To shoot or not to shoot, to pass or not to pass, it's all part of the maturation of Justin Cobbs, a process that will go a long way in determining the Bears' success down the stretch. Coach, we talked to Justin about this, being a point guard that shoots at times, but also being a point guard that needs to distribute, and the balance that you're looking for, he feels comfortable with it. And he said to us during the piece that he's sometimes not sure what to do in certain situations. That's been a dilemma that hopefully he can get resolved.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, he's trying to distribute the ball and get his teammates involved, and it's frustrating because we've got a lot of balls inside to our big guys and they didn't finish. And so that's something we've got to get better at. And obviously we don't want him to go a half without shooting the ball. There's going to be a balance between, okay, this is a great shot for me versus, okay, I drew the defense and now let's kick it to the next guy. And that's where he's got to continue to figure out what's what. You know, sometimes with Allen Crabbe, you know, that's obviously a great guy to dish to, but people aren't really leaving him alone, so his options are limited. But he's trying to do the right thing. What I was most impressed with against Washington State in particular is he really played good defense. He got after it, set the tone up top on defense, and that was really important for us to do that. So, I mean, he's trying to do the right things. I mean, Justin can score the ball. People are loading up on him too. I mean, it hasn't been easy for either he or Allen Crabbe because people aren't letting them get to what scouting reports say they want to do. And it's the same thing we do with other teams. We try to take their strengths away and make other people beat us. And they're doing a little bit of that to Justin. So, but, you know, his attitude's been good. And like you said, when he gets to the line, he's going to make foul shots, particularly late. He's a real good foul shooter. And that's really good when you have a guy with the ball in his hands that can make foul shots.
You'll face Stanford this week at Maples Pavilion. They're a team that, like your team, split this past weekend, beating Washington State, but not being able to defeat Washington. A tough loss for them on Saturday against the Huskies. This is a team with Dwight Powell. He's a tremendous talent. Their guard play has been a little inconsistent, but Hustis, another guy that's really come on this year and has improved, not only as a defensive stopper, but he's also knocking down some shots.
Well, he's a Montana kid. You know,
well, there's a correlation there?
He's tough, yeah. Montana kids are tough. They got a lot of talent. There's no question about that. They've got a lot of guys that can shoot the ball. Trying to scout them is difficult because you're not sure ever who's going to play. I mean, the other day, Gabriel Harris started, and we hadn't seen him for a while before Robbie Lemons had started, and he didn't play. And you know, they got a bunch of guys that they're kind of trying to figure out who fits where. Aaron Bright came back, had a really good game against Washington State. They probably wouldn't have won that, so he's kind of back in the rotation now, and he's given us a tough time. Randall, obviously a very, very good player, has not shot the ball as well this year, but Powell is a real talent, and I think everybody in the league loves Hustis because he's just such a versatile guy, tough guy, boards it, he blocks shots, he defends, and he's, you know, a little bit better score. But I mean, they got guys like Gage that come off and shoot the ball, and you know, he's got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. So I mean, you have to defend them. They shoot a lot of threes, and they've the part of the reason I think they've struggled some is because they haven't shot the ball as well as they would have expected from three-point line with those guys that they have that they consider, and I think in the past have been good shooters.
Well, good luck this week.
Yep, thank you.
All right, we'll have the radio broadcast for you beginning at 1 o'clock with the AT&T pregame show tip-off shortly after 1:30.